Hey guys, Magnus here, bringing you another video. This one we're going to be doing my video just talking about how I feel thus far, or so far, about the Christmas event, or the Rigelian, whatever you want to call it, the Rigelian event, or basically, of course, the event where the Christmas event this year, Xmas again, or the winter event, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to be talking about that. So it's the same sort of format. No, the only problem with this is it only has 2 acts. I still wanted to do a video on it. I usually don't do these videos on mini events because there's not really much point. I felt that this was a tiny bit pointless doing a video on it, but I thought nevertheless I'm going to do it because I think that it is important because it is a reasonably big event. It's like it's between a mini event and a major event. So I decided to do a video. I waited for the final act and the second and the final act to be released, but which is kind of silly of me. But at the same time, I wanted to see most of the content. Now there is a lot of content that still isn't out yet, so that's okay. But anyway, so we're gonna do three reasons why it's good, 3 reasons why it's bad, and then we'll do favorite character and favorite building. So my first reason to why it's good is, first of all, the little mini game we get at the end, and the story, the way it's kind of the structure and just the structure as a whole is awesome, and especially the little mini game at the end. I really enjoyed it. I think it was really well played out, how you could battle Kang and Kodos with Buddha and with Shiva and with not Santa, with like Kwanzaa Hibbert and with Krusty's dad. Like, you can fight Kang and Kodos with that, and then you also have to put Kang and Kodos up, and also the little Jesus alien. You can put those guys up, and they can verse whoever your people. I thought that was a really clever way of doing it, and I really did like just the way they structured the entire event with the Funzos invading, and then you had it felt like it should have been a little bit all over the place, and it was at first, but I think they really did establish it, and through the gameplay and through just the general structure, I think that it was a really solid. And although that it wasn't particularly amazingly, the Christmas theme wasn't. The Christmas theme was there, and I'm gonna talk about that later because but overall, the structure of the event was really well. The theme is a different point, and I may as well move on to the theme. My second major point is the theme. And the theme is important for me because I think a massive problem, the reason everyone hated last year's Christmas is because it wasn't Christmas. It was a pagan event, and a lot of people thought a bit annoyed because it didn't bring any of the the classic Christmas items, any of the classic Christmas characters. It brought us a bunch of new shit that really just felt a little bit out of place, and it shouldn't have been in the Christmas event. So the theme of this one was much better, and I preferred it much more. And I actually really enjoyed the theme, although it was Kang and Kodos who were kind of running the event, and it was a bit odd that 2 aliens were running a Christmas event. I think that they really did bring home, and they really did do it justice. And I think the Christmas event was actually really worked, because one of the big, something I believe in that Christmas is all about is bringing people together. It's not just for Christians and secularists; it's for everyone, really. So I liked the fact that they brought in Shiva and they brought in Buddha, and I love the fact that they did that in a Christmas event. I think that worked really well, and I really did enjoy it, and I'm just overall really glad that they did it, and I think the theme was really solid. My third and final point for why the event was good was loads of characters. So we got loads and loads. We got like Shiva, we got Buddha, we got Jesus. We haven't got Jesus yet, but we'll be getting Jesus. You get Santa, you get the worker elves, who I'm not particularly happy with, but you get them anyway. You get loads of characters. You guys can see all the characters you get loads and loads of characters. Some costumes as well. I'm not too bothered about the costumes, but some really good characters, really solid, and they actually all make sense, and they all have some really interesting tasks. Most of them anyway have interesting tasks. There's other characters like Jack Frost who aren't particularly very interesting, but they're there anyway. But I think overall it added us a fair amount of characters, especially considering this event lasts a little bit shorter than normal events. Plus it's only 2 acts, so, and they've given us loads of characters. So I have to praise it for that. Anyway, 3 reasons why it's bad. So the first reason is I don't think it lasts long enough, and I really kind of feel ashamed because it feels like it was building up to something, but it needed a little bit more build up before it just kind of went to the final battle. I would have preferred a second act, and they made the third act they made the second act the third act, and they brought in some other second act. And there's plenty of characters and buildings I can think of that they could add that would really work in this event. It's just a shame they didn't do it. So yeah, oh, sorry, tired. But sorry. Yeah, they really should have given us some more content and some more gameplay and given us a third act. I really think that would have been better. But yeah, it's unfortunate really they didn't do that, but whatever. My second point is I don't personally think there's that many interesting buildings. I'm not a fan of many of the buildings or any of the buildings really. I feel like all the buildings are very mediocre. I can't even think of a bit like the building that screams the best to me off the top of my head is the Peak Inn, just because it's a nice little building. But like the buildings are really bad. I don't know. They're just very boring. Like they're either really boring looking. We've got similar stuff before, like the spaceship, or they're just, you know, overall just not particularly very nice to look at, and they're hard to decorate. There's a few reasons, but I haven't really found there isn't many buildings in this event that I particularly like very much. They're all just very bland and boring, so I think that's a big issue. I guess it is kind of hard though with the theme they've gone with. I presume, you know, it is a little bit hard. They have to do certain things, but they had to add certain buildings obviously, but I don't know. I just wish they would have given us maybe some more interesting building, maybe some stores or something that would have been kind of cooler to see. But I understand, because buildings are becoming more and more scarce. Like there's way more characters than there are buildings, so it's hard to, like, as in what they can take from the Simpsons, so it's hard for them to obviously give us enough characters, with also because they tend to add more buildings and characters anyway. But now it's starting to, every event it's starting to kind of be less and less buildings and more characters, because I think they realize that they can't give us that many buildings anymore. The next point, or the final third point to why it's bad is there's a few political messages in there, especially with the Kwanzaa costume. Now I understand the Kwanzaa costume is very controversial anyway, and I guess they are pretty brave to add it in the game a little bit, because it's something that a lot of people completely disagree with. Of course, if you don't know what it is, essentially it's a Christmas for black supremacist, I guess, or well, I guess you could argue that it's not black. It's nothing to do with black supremacy. I don't know, but essentially that's what a lot of people perceive it as. That is my point. So that's what a lot of people see it as a Christmas for black supremacists. So it is a very controversial costume to add in the game, and I can understand. And I just don't like it when they be political. I don't care. Like I'm not going to personally tell you my political views. But my view on tapped out and politics is just stay out of it. Just completely stay out of it, because they don't have to be on the left or the right. They just need to stay out of it, or they can be on the fence. Like one of the two. I don't want them to really because The Simpsons is an extremely left-wing program, and you and I may agree with its politics 100%. But I still don't think it's fair to be adding politics into a game where you're trying to escape. Essentially, a game is escapism. That's why you play a video game. You want to escape from that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's annoying when they add politics, and so I'm just completely against that. I'm not particularly happy with that. Also, the stuff with the BS League, the fact that they called it the BS League is a bit annoying. The bullshit league. It's kind of I think that's what they meant. I'm still not sure if that's what they meant, but I can't think of any other reason they'd call it that. That kind of annoys me a little bit, because it doesn't just offend like Christians. It offends like well, Hindus. It'll offend Buddhists, you know, because they're and Jack Frost fans. So yeah, I guess whatever. I'm not particularly happy with that. But yeah, anyway, that's pretty much it. So favorite character. My favorite character is in this event so far is definitely Santa Claus. I've only just got him, but from the tasks I've seen, he is extremely cool. They've really done Santa justice. So far, he's my favorite character for this lineup of Tapped Out Awards 2018, which of course Christmas will be included in there. So far, Santa is leading for me and definitely got my vote. Really cool character, and they've got some really interesting tasks. And then my favourite building is, like I said before, the Peak Inn. It's not particularly that interesting. I just think it's the most interesting out of it, just because it looks nice, and it's just it's a very basic building, but it just looks nice, and it's a well adaptation from the show, and yeah, and it's easy to decorate, and that's pretty much it really. It's the only reason I really like it. But anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. Thanks for watching. Please comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And I shall see you next video. I'm going to be gone for the next few days because I'm traveling, so yeah. But anyway, thanks for watching. Goodbye.